as the genocide continues, you have three issues that are just like really driving a wedge through the MAGA coalition. They're all related, incidentally, which is Iran, Epstein, Israel, right? They're all part of the same umbrella story as I observe it, but it is causing a lot of chaos here. So we'll go back to, the heart of the 12-day war between Israel and Iran, where Marjorie Taylor Greene voices opposition to that, which prompts a response from Mark Levin, who died and named Marjorie Taylor Greene the queen of MAGA. Trump is MAGA. He received 77 million votes. You're a little-known politician from Georgia. Hate to break the news to you. We're Team Trump. Go Trump. All right, so then on June 20th...
I mean, to be fair, she's pretty well-known.
She is pretty well-known. Exactly. So on June 23rd, this was reposted recently, but she did an interview with Steve Bannon where she just said very plainly, we bombed Iran on behalf of Israel.
6 months in, Steve, and here we are turning back on the campaign promises, and we bombed Iran on behalf of Israel. Yes, it was on behalf of Israel. We're entering a nuclear war, the World War III, because the entire world is going to erupt. And you want to know the people that are cheering it on right now? Their tune is going to drastically change the minute we start seeing flag draped coffins on the nightly news, on Fox News that brainwashes all the baby boomers, and on CNN that brainwashes all the Democrat baby boomers. And that is exactly how this is going to go down.
That's right. That's right.
Damn, yo.
Who on Fox News brainwashes the baby boomers, you ask? Well, in that same interview, she names names. Mark Levin.
Well, I got to add on one more thing, Steve, and I'm sure you've covered it on your show. Mark Levin was one of the biggest never-Trumpers when President Trump was running for president. So it absolutely makes me sick. It makes me want to throw up in my mouth that he's one of the voices that is constantly texting and calling President Trump's phone and showing up at the White House demanding for America to go to every single foreign war on behalf of Israel. I'm really sick and disgusted at that. And it's people like him and Lindsey Graham and all these other people that never really supported Trump in the beginning. People like me, regular people like me, donated to President Trump. We showed up at his rallies. We voted for him. We truly supported him. I've supported him the entire time. Mark Levin was a never-Trumper. Compared President Trump, claimed that he was the same as Code Pink. All of this horrible attacks on President Trump, and he only supports him now because he couldn't beat him, because people like me supported President Trump and got him elected. And Steve, I've spent 5 years, I've spent millions of dollars, millions of my own money, traveling this entire country campaigning for President Trump, defending him when everyone abandoned him after January 6th. And I would say I represent MAGA far more than Mark Levin or any of these other neocon suck-ups ever will and ever do.
And that's all true. Mark Levin was a never-Trumper in 2016. He supported Ted Cruz to the bitter end. And then, as I understand it, never formally endorsed Donald Trump. He gave one of these, on Election Day, of course, Hillary must be defeated, one of those things, but never really got on board the Trump train. So now, one of the latest tweets from Marjorie Taylor Greene, she breaks the news she's apparently getting attacked by AIPAC. AIPAC is sending fundraising emails attacking me for saying the most truthful and easiest thing to say, that October 7th that Israel was horrific and all hostages must be returned, but so is the genocide, humanitarian crisis, and starvation happening in Gaza. So there you see. Now she's restating what she said just a couple weeks ago. So that wasn't just a slip of the tongue. She actually meant genocide when she said it. Well, this is the sign on the front door of my office, meaning no foreign lobbying, America first. And I think the truth is AIPAC doesn't like it because I unapologetically represent America. I'm one of the only members of Congress that doesn't take money from AIPAC, who donates way more to Republicans than Democrats. The truth is AIPAC needs to register as a foreign lobbyist by U.S. law because they are representing the secular government, of nuclear-armed Israel 100%. while Congress is out on recess and supposed to be working in our districts, they just took a bunch of members of Congress to Israel to make sure they don't step out of line. So calling out Mike Johnson directly there. While AIPAC is lying to their donors about me claiming I'm betraying my American values, the reality is AIPAC 1,000,000% serves and lobbies for a foreign country, Israel. I'm as American as they come. I can't be bought, and I'm not backing down. I'm fighting for my children's generation and for America only. Bring it on. Fighting words, for sure. So she then tweets out this appearance with Matt Gaetz. Nuclear-armed Israel is not hurting, and they've already proven they are more than capable of not only defending themselves but annihilating their enemies to the point of genocide. The reason why AIPAC is attacking me is because I dared to tell the truth. We're $37 trillion in debt. I'm fighting for America's future generations. So here she is with Matt Gaetz a couple days ago.
AIPAC attacking you, sending out fundraising emails saying that you are not acting in the interests of our country. Marjorie Taylor Greene, your reaction to AIPAC's fundraising emails attacking you?
Yeah, Matt, I'll go ahead and be straight and honest about this. I'm absolutely furious. And as a matter of fact, AIPAC needs to register as a foreign lobbyist because they're breaking U.S. laws by donating to members of Congress and by taking them on a fully funded trip to Israel every single freshman member of Congress's year. They just took them over just recently and had them meet with the Prime Minister of Israel. But let's frame that correctly. They take them over to meet with the secular government of nuclear-armed Israel. Israel, who is in less than $400 billion in debt. Israel, who has taxpayer-funded health care and college. Israel is not hurting, and they've already proven that they are more than capable of not only defending themselves, but annihilating their enemies to the point of genocide. And that's what's happening in Gaza. And Matt, the reason why AIPAC is attacking me is because I dared to tell the truth. Well, Matt, you and I are good friends. We served together in Congress, and you know that I have taken zero money from AIPAC. As a matter of fact, I am so unapologetically American. I have a sign on the door of my office that tells all lobbyists, foreign lobbyists, to stay out of my office and that they have to follow the law.
So, yeah, not backing down there. So this prompted an attack from Laura Loomer.
From Jigsaw.
Yeah, from Jigsaw. While I have no love for AIPAC, it's so funny watching Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene come out and say she's going on an anti-pro-Israel crusade. When I was running for Congress, she begged me to write a letter for her saying she supports the Jews after she made her Jewish space laser comments. She also begged me to introduce her to the Moskowitz family because she wanted money from Cherna Moskowitz, who has since passed away, but whose family gives a lot of money to the GOP. MTG constantly asked me to introduce her to Jewish donors. Hilarious. I'm going to throw her FEC and show, I'm going to go through, her FEC and show all the receipts. There is no genocide in Gaza. Marjorie Taylor Greene is just angry she was iced out by the White House, so she wants to create drama for the Trump administration. Yeah, no, that's her goal. Yeah, it's not like she's been very cozy to trust. It's not like she's branded herself the queen of MAGA up until this point. They don't really want much to do with her. She is very triggered by it, and now she's lashing out. It's really that simple. She was more than happy to beg Jews for money. So Mark Levin piles on again. Word gets out in Mediaite that Laura Loomer attacks Marjorie Taylor Greene, and he says, good for Laura, further exposing kook, MTG. Marjorie Taylor Greene sounds like a lunatic and Marxist Islamist Jew hater. I mean, just hitting all the buzzwords. Repeatedly stabs the president in the back and trashes conservatives. She's a favorite and regular guest of the America trashing fake MAGA podcasters and quoted often by the left-wing media. She has abandoned her congressional district, a complete embarrassment. And now Laura has exposed her as a nasty hypocrite and phony. Well, Russell just did a segment where Matt Gaetz used to, talk up Israel all the time. Like, it's not necessarily an own to be like, yeah, in the past they took money, right? I mean, in the past, everyone was a lot weaker on this than they should have been. Almost everyone. I won't say everyone. But, the fact of the matter is, You know, what she says there, she hasn't taken money from AIPAC. She's saying they should register as a foreign agent. She's doubled down on the claim of genocide. It looks like she is committed to become a thorn in the side of the pro-Israel wing of the Republican Party. I won't even say MAGA. Forget me. I don't even know what MAGA is at this point. MAGA is just basically, a bunch of closeted couch potatoes who get off on feeding immigrants to reptiles. Like, that's basically what MAGA. Like, I don't even know what else MAGA is. There's the Republican Party, but like when it comes to MAGA, I don't even know where you would. I don't even know what that is anymore. That's old
that's
news.
a go on the soundboard.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really know what you're talking about there. Marjorie Taylor Greene responds to Mark Levin. Fox News host Mark Levin is a raging psychopath. He is attacking me, lying about me, and even worse, in comments in his own post, calling Christians bigots and says I should go to prison. All because I am unapologetically America first and unapologetically fighting for my children's generation. Ever since I called for a recorded vote on my amendments to defund U.S. taxpayer money to Israel and other foreign countries and foreign aid, Mark Levin has rabidly been attacking me. And then the attack started from AIPAC. Do you see the pattern? Fox News host Mark Levin, a once hateful never-Trumper, is 100% Israel first and America last. So yeah, Levin engaging in the comments saying you're a bigot, Marjorie Taylor Greene 2028. Prison, he says, for prison. And he's even mixing it up with some of the haters. Only thing that matters to you is whether someone grovels at the feet of Israel, right, little Mark? And he replies, why do you hate America, pig? So he's really passionate about his hatred for Marjorie Taylor Greene.
And I just want to say, if you look at what Laura Loomer said, this is how nuts these people are. She's really playing to terrible anti-Semitic tropes by talking about people begging Jews for money.
Oh, yeah, Loomer, you mean, yeah.
Loomer, you're not helping. You're not helping. This is why I say these people are going to end up getting us all killed. When I look at non-Israeli Jews who want to get behind this, it's what I always tell them, man. Like, yeah, you are going to see a wave of anti-Semitism that's going to be very dangerous. You're helping to usher it in.
Of course. And Marjorie Taylor Greene has made that point as well.
Yes.
Yes, absolutely. So Levin replies, you truly are nuts. Let me educate you, bigot. He writes like he talks on his show. I've got nothing to do with AIPAC. Supporting Israel does not make one Israel first. My father and grandfather fought in World War II. You're a disgusting anti-Semite. You're not America first. You're a clown. You were nowhere during the Tea Party movement, nowhere during the Reagan Revolution. What was she, 9 years old during the Reagan Revolution? I think she's Gen X, right? Marjorie Taylor Greene. What was she a child during the Reagan Revolution? What the fuck are you even talking about? Nowhere during the Reagan Revolution.
Yeah, like I was a child during Reagan, and I think she's a little younger than me.
Yeah, exactly. I think she was born in like the mid-'70s or something. You did nothing for Trump in the 2016 primaries. You're an opportunist. You were playing with Barbie dolls while I was campaigning for Ronald Reagan. You're stabbing Trump in the back every chance you can get. You've done nothing for the Convention of States. You're a crackpot, a backbencher. You don't speak for Christians. I work closely with fantastic Christian groups, leaders, and pastors who find your relentless smears against Israel and your blood libels disgusting. I have Christians in my family who think you're horrendous. You didn't run for Senate because everyone knows you'd get creamed. Okay, well, Matt Gaetz then chimes back in. There's not a single congressional district in America where Mark Levin would defeat Marjorie Taylor Greene in a Republican primary. Not one. Yeah, I sense that.
Yeah, that's true.
Absolutely right. Absolutely true.
Maybe 5 towns.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. And yeah, this is what Matt Gaetz is talking about. There's a great website now, which I believe is called. God damn it! I meant to write it down. Okay, there it is. NotMyTaxDollars.org. Kind of like an AIPAC tracker type thing, where you can enter the state and the city, and you can see what the money that is allocated to Israel by your state or by your municipality would do for the community in which you live. So in Georgia, $452 million in change to Israel's weapons could instead fund one of the following: 283,000 households with 1 month free rent, 952,000 families with 1 month's free groceries. Go on down the line. Our next segment, we're going to get into that when we do a piece about Sarah Huckabee Sanders.
I actually have that for Arkansas.
Yeah, exactly. You could actually have the same data from Arkansas. So if you look at Marjorie Taylor Greene's hometown, Milledgeville, where she was born, it gives you a breakdown here too. 914,000 to Israel's weapons could instead fund all of this, or any of those items. So that is why, what Matt Gaetz says is true. It's why even on the right, you're seeing the tide really turn, because whether you're left wing or right wing, you can clearly see this is not good for America, right? Clearly. I mean, that's just obvious to anybody who's not completely brainwashed, which is why, ultimately, what is the future of conservatism in America? Again, fuck MAGA. I don't care. I don't even know what that means anymore, honestly. But what is the future of conservatism in America? It's much more the Marjorie Taylor Greene mold than the Mark Levin mold. That's totally obvious. It's totally obvious because everyone can just see very plainly this is not working for us. Even if you don't have concern for the people in Gaza, which oddly enough, we're seeing more and more people actually do. Like Shama just said, she got an email from a guy who was right-wing on a lot of issues who says, I really appreciate your stance on Gaza, because obviously, who could not empathize with what they're going through at the hands of the Israeli state now. So you are starting to see that become mainstream in a way that it had never been before. And even people on the right are saying, hey, you know what? You can call this whatever you want to call it. It's clearly not America first. Clearly. And so this, I think, really touches on that very, very strongly. And so, between Epstein, Iran, and now Israel, you really start to see the conservative movement drawing some lines, and it's going to be interesting to see how it shakes out. But Levin versus Marjorie Taylor Greene, she's going to have the people on her side of this one.
Well, you look at those tweets and those interviews, and literally not even Ilhan Omar or Rashida Tlaib have gone at AIPAC and Israel like that.
Right.
There is no Democrat that will go with them like that. I don't know of any Democrat that will take that kind of stand on foreign lobbying and make it that clear how much their colleagues are owned by foreign lobbyists.
Sure.
There's not one Democrat that I can think of who has done anything to that extreme in calling out the system and the corruption in it. The problem.
Well, the trip to Israel. I mean, she's calling out Mike Johnson pretty directly, the leader of the party in the House. Yeah.
The problem is that if you look at someone like Marjorie Taylor Greene or even Thomas Massey, frankly, okay, so suppose you clawed all this money back from Israel. What would they want to do with it? Give more tax cuts to billionaires? Like, they don't have any economic agenda that I've ever seen them express that would in any way help the people that they're talking about. I mean, I believe with Marjorie Taylor Greene and with Massey that they actually have convictions. Their convictions are fucking insane on economics. They're insane. They're disproven. They're magical thinking. How many decades of trickle-down economics do we need before you give up on that idea?
Well, that's the thing. All this hand-wringing,
look, big, beautiful bill. Okay, Massey, in the end, he voted to advance it.
Right.
So what's it worth with that? Like, what would they do if you stop funding Israel with that money? Not that we shouldn't anyway on general principles to stop funding a genocide. That's a good in and of itself. But you have to remember, when she's talking about America first, her idea of that based on history is more tax cuts for Paris Hilton. right? More tax cuts for dissolute heirs and oligarchs.
Right. Well, that's exactly it. I mean, yeah. I mean, when she talks about how, I'm for the American people, we owe our children a future. Okay, so why'd you vote to cut
right.
Medicaid like
Right.
that? Like
Right.
why? Like it doesn't compute.
Yeah, you can
in the
never
end.
forget that because there is absolutely no one on, I mean, we don't want to say the left, but there's no Democrat who would say something like that. We tend to glom onto that and not want to talk about what these people actually stand for.
Oh,
I
yeah,
mean,
no.
it's great. I'm very happy she's saying that. And I am not one of those who say, well, we can't work with her. I'll work with anybody who wants to stop a genocide. I don't care. But remember who she is.
Please clap.